This week on Backyard Footy.
No, it's tough. Like honestly, as you know, you have to find the right person to be with. And nobody really understands the lifestyle unless they're in it. And I know like other sports have similar things, if not worse situations as well. Like I know baseball players get traded mid-game type stuff. So yeah, just being with the right person. I think that we just have open conversations. Hey, this just happened and stuff, and it's going to be okay. It's just stressful at first. So I think, having open communication and everything is huge. And obviously I'm a very motivated person. I'm very confident. So I knew I would find something where I'd land on my feet. And obviously having that person to share with was big. Obviously my family, they've been involved in footy since I was born, so that was nice to have them there and their support as well. And, even past coaches and stuff reaching out and new coaches when you get to the teams and stuff. So there's lots of people, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like you have like old coaches and teammates that you like connect with throughout the years.
What's up, footy fans? Your host Hugh Roberts, aka Superhuman. I'm back for another special edition of the Footy Doc series, part 6, with my boy Sam Gleadle, coming straight from London when he was young, but growing up in America. And listen to his journey, how he persevered through many, many, many obstacles just to get to where he is today, how he changed positions, persevered through not playing, persevered through MLS trials and getting cut. Full detailed episode, man. I'm very excited to share with you guys. Got a couple more episodes in the series to release for the rest of the year with some more teammates, and I'm going to shoot some more episodes with them. I got some more footy visuals for you guys as well. Got some special things cooking up. Still got some things working with my foundation, Footy's Got You Foundation. I'm going to announce soon later this year. But without further ado, I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Subscribe, comment, rate. Let me know what you think. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. My guy, appreciate you joining the show, my man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir. How's everything? Tell us about your life here in Monterey. What's your daily life here for Gleadle?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, got my wife and we got a baby on the way, so we couldn't be happier. Everything's healthy so far, and just kind of prepping for that. And obviously, good to be back on the field from the injury. As you know, it's never good to have one of those. So yeah, it's all good for me. Obviously, I love this weather, the clouds, no sun. That's a bit of me, and it's good for footy too. So, I couldn't be better, man. How about you?
Big congrats with the baby.
Thanks,
as well,
man.
too.
Appreciate you.
Same for me, too, though. Second year here. Again, definitely more situated myself. Having much more of a routine now this year, I would say. Gotten to a little better place housing-wise as well, too. Yeah, and just coming through a second year around with the same kind of guys, it gives you kind of an ease of mind as well too, and that's what I really feel like this year has been for me as well.
Yeah.
Talk to us kind of like what's your daily routine like after training out here? What do you normally do on your days?
Just depends. Like obviously now we got crazy amount of baby appointments to go to the doctor, so that's like a 3 times a week type thing.
Wow.
So we're getting closer and closer now, so that's pretty normal. But usually, just go get a cup of coffee, sit outside and enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
If it's sunny, I guess. Other than that, like we're pretty chill. We'll just hang out at home.
Favorite restaurants or anything?
Well, Alta, that's my coffee shop, Alta Bakery. We go there like every game day, and then I'd say like once a week around there. Every now and then we'll just go try some food spots, go to Carmel, all that kind of stuff. We're over there quite a bit. Carmel Bell is one of our favorite spots too.
Yeah.
We've been
yes,
there.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, we just kind of go around to different food spots, hang out at home. Nothing crazy.
Saltwood Kitchen's up there for me too.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for putting me on with that one too, man.
Yeah. That's
definitely check that out here in Monterey, man. Yeah.
That's one of those fancier things for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone a couple of date nights. I took my brother there as well.
Yeah.
I know you took the fam there.
Yeah.
That's definitely a staple spot.
So you mentioned you came back from an injury like a month or two ago. Kind of talk about like this year for you a little bit. I know it's only been like 3 or 4 months, but what's for you personally? What's this year been like for you?
Yeah, it's been good. I think, like you said, last year being a brand new team, find our feet a little bit. So coming in this year, and I know it's kind of been our motto, is like unfinished business, and I think that really is a collective thing that we had, and that's why they brought back so many of us from last year. Obviously, I was able to go to Ipswich and train the off season, and that was really good to kind of see a completely different level and environment.
Talk about that real quick.
Yeah. So obviously, Gaff's connection with them just got me and a few of the boys, Chase, Ant, and Maury. Went over there for 3 weeks.
Nice.
Got to train mostly with their reserves. got a little bit of time with the first team, but just being there in their facilities, obviously top notch. Got to see the games in the stadium. Everything was proper, and just kind of training there, you know, you can kind of see where you're at compared to them and what they do after training. And, you know, it's like an all day training thing. They don't go home until like 4:30, you know, and it's obviously they have a full cafeteria and like crazy staff. Like it's different, but, you know, so it was a very good experience for me, you know, and I think kind of changed my mindset where I saw firsthand, like, I think I can play, you know, at that level or damn near close. So coming this season, you know, I was like, I never got that level of touches in the off season before. So coming in, I was like, look, if I can stay healthy, I'll be fit. My feet will be moving like they've never been moving before. And obviously mentally, I felt very good. So I was just like, continue this momentum through the season, you know, and I think I did start pretty well and obviously picked up a little injury. And then, obviously, again, we were injured kind of similar time. So we got to see little things in games that we thought we could tweak, or like where the spaces were, you know, kind of where we needed to improve on. So I think, you know, coming back in, you know, goal now, stay healthy the rest of the year, keep doing what I'm doing. And obviously I think the guys have been really good. They've been keeping me positive when I was out and stuff. So yeah, couldn't be better. And, you know, got some big games coming, so we'll keep it rolling.
Yes, sir. I wanted to touch on Ipswich real quick. I'm sure there's a couple of things, but what's just like one thing that kind of separated them either on the field or off the field from a USL player or even like an MLS player?
Yeah, well, when I went from the reserves to the first team I was only there for like 30 minutes during one of their sessions. The big thing I noticed was how vocal they were, and it wasn't just like one or two people. You know, it was everyone kind of knew where the other person needed to press, and not that their press was more intense than ours, you know, but it almost felt that way because everyone's voices were loud and, you know, press, like, I'm here, like, you go, you know, everything was very, very loud and confident. No one was kind of, you know, half saying something where they weren't sure. You know, everything was powerful and deliberate. And, you know, because we watched a couple of their games and I was like, their press is okay, you know. Obviously on the ball, they're good and they have some special players, but in training, just how vocal they were and how powerful their voices were was definitely, you know, like wow. And honestly, I think my communication has been, I don't have a big voice. It's not like me, but I think my communication has improved and it's more frequent because of that, for sure.
Right. That's a very interesting point that you brought up too, because I mean, you just think about here in the American game, not from a collective standpoint, I really feel like most teams have like one or two, maybe three guys who speak, but not a collective unit. And you can see kind of when we watch the games every day, almost the top levels, you can hear the communication, see the communication. And I feel like that probably started from the youth system too with them as well too. So that's a great point.
Yeah. I mean, the reserve boys too, obviously they use their voice as well. It's just a different level.
Yeah. How did you deal with this injury this year mentally, or how did you overcome that to get to where you are now?
Yeah, I think we've all been through injuries before. So for me, obviously day one, maybe day two, you're upset about it, But after that, I've always told myself there's nothing I can do. Now I'm in this position. I do as I'm told as far as what Jess and past trainers have told me, and I do it to the T. I ask what extra I can do. Like, can I do this today? Like, when can I do this? So I'm asking questions. And I think a big thing is being around the guys still, like being out there when they're training, be close to the rondos, joke around.
Yeah,
like,
that matters. It matters.
Keep my face and my voice around the group and enjoy being around them. I think that all kind of contributes to getting back healthy and coming back seamlessly as well. I've always prided myself on keeping myself healthy, and things are going to happen, so as long as I can keep doing everything I can to get back. I thought it was going to be worse at first, I think we all do.
Yeah, right.
But again, Jess, gave me a lot of good things to do, and thankful for that. And again, I just do everything she tells me to do, and do the lectures at home and all that kind of stuff. And work on the mental piece a lot.
Right.
That's something I do when I'm not injured. So I continue to do that. And
what do you do, if you don't mind me asking, for yourself?
When I'm injured or not injured, it's the same thing. I do like a little 4-minute meditation every morning. Before on a game day, I'll do like a 6-minute total thing. Well, actually, I'll read first. I have this like soccer mentality book that I'll read like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then I'll do like a meditation for 3 minutes and then a visualization for 3 minutes as well.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly all I'm going to score 3 goals today this and that. It's more how I'm going to communicate with myself internally, the small things I'm going to do and everything I can control. I don't set like I'm going to score this many goals this year or this game or anything. You know, I'm going to be like, I'm going to communicate properly as much as I can. I'm going to work both sides of the ball. I'm going to make runs, in certain positions and that kind of stuff. And then from there, I just kind of let my quality take over and stay calm in those moments. And it seems to be working for me. And obviously we have a good attacking group too. So, I know if I'm on my toes and I make good runs,
right,
the ball will find me. And then from there, it's about staying calm, so.
Man, Gleed, you hit a lot of good points, man. It's kind of why I asked you what you do from the mental standpoint. I feel like I got to know you a little bit more. And honestly, I kind of do the similar things myself. I have my dog too. It's going on a walk. I'm a big advocate on reading books as well too. Reading books, or even just like listen to podcasts. But because the little things that you said, to get the mind right and the mental right. I think the mental aspect pushes us further than our athletic abilities. Honestly, because we're in our heads a lot. Yeah. So to calm that mind down, to get you focused, and like you said, each year is going to be different, right? Of course, you have goals, but it's tough to set a specific number because it's going to fluctuate based on the team, this and that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you got to have the mindset at the end of the day, and that's a common denominator, and that's what's going to catapult you to whatever goals you want to get to. Yeah. So, man.
It's like, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, I have numbers in my head that,
of course,
I look at players in our league, players in the league where I want to be at, and kind of loosely compare it to that. So, obviously, I have numbers in my head and stuff, but why would I do a certain number? Because then that creates a ceiling. Right. If I hit that 3 months into the season, then it's like, well, what next? Right. And obviously you can reset goals and stuff, but for me, I don't like to set that because it puts a ceiling on me. I just kind of compare it to players in my position at the level I want to be at, and kind of have that healthy internal competition per se. Yeah. And then obviously for me, team goals have always been higher than my own. And obviously last year wasn't good enough, so I think we'll be able to correct it this year. So,
my man, you hit some great points. That's exactly how I feel about this year too. So I came back, like you said, unfinished business, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk to us a little bit about your journey. How did you even get to this point? Where'd you come from and everything too?
Yeah, so obviously I was born in Southern England. Moved to the U.S. when I was 9. Okay. Just played youth in Arizona. Grew up playing for Scottsdale Blackhawks, they've now merged into Phoenix Rising. It's crazy, like the amount of youth teams have changed now to academy teams and all that kind of stuff. It's tough to keep track, but I played there until my senior year of high school. Then I went to Real Salt Lake Academy, which was in Casa Grande, Arizona at the time, which is now the Barca Academy. Which is where all the young boys are coming out of now. So I was there. Then I went to college at the University of New Mexico. I was there, graduated in 3.5 years. Okay.
You got recruited to get into there?
I got recruited there. And I got a double major in marketing and operations. And then I didn't get drafted, none of that. Went to a couple of tryouts, like a Phoenix Rising tryout, and then Reno, 1868.
Open trials, right?
It was like a Reno, San Jose type combine in San Jose, like at the PayPal. And I did really, really well. I didn't earn a contract. I just got invited to preseason. Shout out Ian Russell. And then obviously I got offered a contract and I was there for 3 years.
This is Reno, right?
Yeah, in Reno. Yeah, and that was good for me. I think year 1, I didn't play a single minute in the league.
How was that for you?
It was tough. It was tough. Like coming from Salt Lake, like I had ended really, really good last half of the season with them. Okay. College was, up and down for me, but I had a good freshman year and a good senior year. So obviously feeling good going into it. And I felt like I was ready to play, whether I was or wasn't. I didn't get my chance in those games, but I played a couple Open Cup games, a friendly against, it's a Liga MX team. I can't remember what it was, but played well in that. So I had like little moments, but I got myself a contract for year 2. So that was
option thing or just a new.
That one was an option. Nice. Yeah.
Actually,
no, I got it removed. It was just a new. New contract. Yeah.
And I guess for those who listen as well, too, that's a big thing as well too. When you have to renew a new contract and sign a new contract, yes, you pick up your options just from your performance, you're good to go. But the fact that they want you back and restructure a new contract means that they really are invested into you as well too.
Yeah, and that was like I guess for the younger people too, like my first year at Reno, that was $0 a month contract. That's before we had the minimum and everything. So I just had bonus incentives in there, but I didn't play. So it was tough. I had to do a lot of coaching to make money, and then I got my option taken away. But I took it out because I've heard I was advised to do that by some older guys.
Oh yeah.
But obviously I didn't play, but they wanted me back. Re-signed for $500 a month, a little bit more. And that year I played about half the games.
Okay.
I thought I did well. Like I gained.
You're playing a new position too? Sorry.
That one I was playing. We played like a 4-4-2 with a diamond that year. So I was one of the inverted wingers.
Gotcha.
Mostly on the left side, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just gaining Ian's trust a bit. Played half the games, and we had that relationship with San Jose. So they would just send players down. They have to play type thing. So it was tough. And again, as a player, you're always arguing for more games, this and that. But I did pretty well. I think it was like 16 games. I think I had like 5 goals, 4 assists, something like that. So did well. And then year 3 came along. And that's when I played left back. That's the first time I played outside back. And Ian came to me and he was just like, hey, I think obviously you've developed a lot. And I think that to make it to the next level, being MLS, like I have the biggest chance of that as an outside back. And obviously this is year 3 with him, so I've gained a lot of trust and confidence in him. And I was like, okay, let's give this a go. Yep. And that was when San Jose was playing man-to-man with Matthias there. So we were playing the same exact system as they were. So we played man-to-man. And it was a COVID year too, so crazy year. Yeah, that was different. That was different.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we played man-to-man. First year as a fullback. We had the best record in the league. That year.
Yeah. Dane Kelly on the same.
No, we didn't have Dane that year. No, I didn't have Dane that year. But we had Corey Herzog.
Cristiano.
Yeah, Francois was there. Me.
I remember.
Brent Richards. It was Seth Kasipli. Like we had a good team. And Kevin Partita, Foster Langsdorff. We had good guys. So that year we ended up losing to Phoenix on penalties in the playoffs, but a very good year. And then from there I went to Minnesota United. They signed me, Kevin, and Foster like right after the season. It was like a COVID thing where they extended the deadline.
Gotcha.
So like our season ended and we signed for Minnesota and went straight. Kind of helped them finish the season type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was a good experience as well. And then,
how'd that even happen? Was that through the club partnership?
Yeah, Ian kind of has a connection type thing with them, and we were kind of talking about what options I'd maybe had for MLS, and obviously he just randomly called me one day, like I'm sitting with Haley on the couch, and actually I don't even think she was in the same room as me, and Ian called me and put on speakerphone, and he was like, hey, Minnesota's signing you, you'll leave tomorrow. And I was like, what? And Haley comes running in because she heard something, and she heard me, and so obviously that was a cool moment. And I really did leave the next day. I had to pack everything up. And again, that was COVID, so I had to go quarantine for 2 weeks, multiple tests, before I could join the team.
2 weeks before you even joined the team, too.
Yeah, so I had to do individual sessions. I couldn't even meet them and all that kind of stuff. So obviously you're a little nervous going in. You don't really meet the guys fully. Right. Yeah, and obviously it was freezing because it was in the winter. Yeah. But that was cool. Then they picked up my option for the following year, 2021.
Reno?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I was going to ask you, did you transition to the team for the...
So I was with them for last 2-3 games of playoffs and regular season and stuff.
And then they picked you up into the...
Then they picked me up for 2021, but then they actually let me go a week into preseason. We didn't even play any games or anything.
How'd that just perform? New signings came in?
They just told me that, there's different rules or whatever, and they just said someone's contract didn't go how they thought, so they had too many people on this senior minimum, whatever. So they said they had to let me go, So it was tough. We just bought a condo out there and everything, So I had to deal with that. But again, Haley was, she was brilliant and all that. She was solid and helped me get through that and everything. And then I ended up at San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was there for the year. Played wing back. Completely different style of play. Obviously, we know how they play. So that was way different, hard for me to adapt. And obviously, they're a great team. Had a great year last year. And then after that, I just didn't think it was the right fit for me at that time.
Was it 2 years?
No, I was just there for one.
Oh,
just there for one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then obviously I came here. last year.
Oh, wow. Crazy how all that worked, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you see? People don't really think that we're doing this journey, obviously, but we have to add on, the wives, the girlfriends, juggling with off the field things. How are you managing? You said Haley had great support for you the whole time as well too. But I'm sure you have more than just Haley as well too. How are you managing? Going to USL contract signing, and then you go to MLS, get cut, have to find new housing, all these different situations. How are you managing off the field situations too?
No, it's tough. Like, honestly, as you know, you have to find the right person to be with, and nobody really understands the lifestyle unless they're in it, and I know like other sports have similar things, if not worse situations as well. Like I know baseball players get traded mid-game type stuff, So yeah, just being with the right person, I think that, we just have open conversations, hey, this just happened and stuff. And, it's going to be okay. It's just stressful at first. So I think, having open communication and everything is huge. And obviously I'm a very motivated person. I'm very confident. So I knew I would find something where I'd land on my feet. And obviously having that person to share with was big. Obviously my family, they've been involved in footy since I was born, that was nice to have them there and their support as well. And even past coaches and stuff reaching out, and new coaches when you get to the teams and stuff. So there's lots of people, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like you have like old coaches and teammates that you like connect with throughout the years.
It matters too when you're in your low points as well, and even just the fuel motivation to get you going sometimes too.
For sure.
Let's talk about these 2 recent years. Last year, let's touch on, how the season was for you, recap-wise, how it ended kind of thing. And I know we touched on this season a little bit more, but kind of just more in detail how the team's been progressing and, how do you think it's going to finish this year too?
Yeah, I mean, first brand new team last year, first time I'd ever been involved with a brand new club. So I think we all had to be very patient. They were learning, we were learning. We had expectations without really knowing all the pieces that we had to play with type thing. And 7 games to start the season with no home games, against big opposition. Like that was a very quick welcome to the league,
unheard of
type thing. Yeah. And, on paper, it didn't look like we did very well in those first 7 games, but I think we learned a lot and we persevered a lot. And obviously we got 1 win out of those. So I think that helped us a lot. And then once we had the home games, we're like, okay, we've kind of made it through a tough time here. And I think it brought us closer together as a group, which is another reason why I thought it was good. This big group came back because we've been through a lot already. For me personally, like I think most of the season I had kind of very blah type performances. Started going a little bit, then I got hurt in training. That kept me out like 7 games or whatever it was.
I remember that one.
And again, like as we kind of talked about my injury recently, is you kind of see things watching on TV and stuff, and obviously it's a physical break for me, but I think I worked on the mental stuff a lot. And obviously when I came back, started playing well. Obviously Gaffer put me in a different position. I was going to ask that when we switched positions and everything too. It was and that's what I feel like the injury was a little bit too. It's like a blessing in disguise too, to switch positions, switch the team. Once you switched positions, like boom, like the floodgates started to open up too. So it was fun. I remember he called me in. It was against Galaxy 2 here at home. He was like, hey, I think we're gonna play you at the 10. Like, have you played there before? I was like, no, I never played there. Like I grew up playing striker, like throughout youth, even through some of college. I was always a striker in a pair. So I've always been in front of goal. Excuse me. And it's been a while, obviously. Played outside back for a lot of my pro career and stuff like that. So it was definitely a transition. But I like to run. I like to be available for teammates and stuff, So being involved in front of goal again was very refreshing for me. And I remembered more of it than I maybe initially thought. And obviously now just getting more and more reps in there, I feel more and more comfortable.
Yeah.
And like I said, the runs from being deeper as well is tough for the defenders to track. And I think I have good energy. And again, the attacking group we have, especially this year, is different. And we're definitely on track to do something special. So, that was a blessing in disguise for sure. For sure. Yeah, like I said, coming in this year, same thing, want to stay healthy, continue that momentum. And because it's still a relatively new position for me, I played what was it? I played 10 games this year, and I finished 10 as the attacking mid last year. So played 20 games in that position. So still very, very fresh for me. So, but yeah, I feel way more comfortable. I think the group feels more comfortable.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think we're scared of anybody, especially here at home. So just got to kind of keep that feeling as a group going and take it game by game.
I think you made an important subject or touching point on that too, was when you said last year going through all the BS, losing and all that, created a camaraderie for this year. So obviously we all came back with an unfinished mindset, but I think that's what last year was for us for this year too, because you can just feel unspokenly too our chemistry, the language that we're just pressing, you know, the vibes and everything too. Sometimes you need the unspokenness in the locker room and everything. That's what's really going to carry us too.
Yeah, for sure.
You have any advice, dreams, goals, for kids who are watching?
Yeah,
aspirations?
I think, you can't just play for the good times. The bad times going to happen, and you're going to have to learn from it. The big thing for me is just trying to enjoy every moment, whether it's tough or whether it's a low moment or a high moment, just have fun. Today was a bad day, tomorrow's a new day. You're going to go train again, whatever. And not just footy, whatever you end up doing, whatever sport or job or organization that you work for, you have to enjoy it. And I think that's important. It doesn't matter how much money you make or whatever. If you're not happy doing it, it's not going to be worth it. So that'd be my advice. Just find something that you have a lot of fun doing. Find something you're good at. Find something you have fun, and you'll be fine. And get around a good group of people.
Good group of people too.
Yeah.
Gleads, man, really appreciate you hopping on, my guy. Good ass show, man. Follow Gleads social media. Definitely stay tuned, subscribe, and everything too. And look forward to having some more apps, guys. We appreciate you.
Thanks, brother.
Gleads.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Good insight.